Then he's like, I think my mom can get us some. It's like, well, this slumber party's getting real fun real quick.
It's time to get wild.
That was wild.
What the fuck is up? Oh my god! Give it up for yourself.
Welcome, everybody. This is called That Was Wild. I'm Adam Macias, and this episode is going to be wild! Oh my gosh, when I say that was, you say wild. That was... Oh my gosh, thank you so much, all of you, for coming. This is a very special episode because for our 1-year anniversary, we're doing a live episode! Oh my gosh, so dang fun. So if you've ever been to the show, which some of you haven't before, this is a show where we talk to my wildly funny friends about their wild stories, and we try to have a wild time while doing it. That's what we're gonna do today! I'm on a quest to hear all the wild stories in the world. And my quest captain, my quest person that's co-captain, that'll be joining me today is a very dear friend of mine. Give it up for Steve Sotelo! Okay, he's got his own chair now. Fantastic. And he's got his own water, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. What's going on right now? What are you doing? Take your time, please.
Well, thank you for inviting me to your show, Adam.
Yes.
It's great to be here.
Explain yourself, please.
Last time I came to your home to record one of these podcasts, you put me on what was essentially an asteroid hemorrhoid tube. So
Cut to that.
I hate how you're sitting now.
It's happened.
I really hate this.
You put me in the fucking chair, man. You had the chance to be here. I could have sat there.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
okay.
in
Now
charge.
I'm in the spread bussy, dude.
Ooh.
Okay. What even camera are you looking at?
I don't know which
There's
one
not-
is mine.
Pussy's. I can see it.
That's. Oh my god.
I'm going to supply my
It'll be in
own.
post.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't want to trust it. I have trust issues, and I'm going to supply my own chair to things now. To your events, I will bring my own chair.
So did you buy this specifically for this show?
I did.
You did?
I did indeed.
How much are we talking?
$40.
No.
Yeah.
In this economy?
Big five.
Really?
Yeah.
$40.
I thought it was going to be $5, but then that's the five below, and I mean, at that point I don't like situations like that, so I just kind of follow through on it, and I just paid for it.
Okay, so was it worth it for the bit?
Yeah.
Ladies and
Absolutely.
gentlemen, was it worth it for the bit?
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Okay, well,
To the Sotelo gang out there.
yeah, to all the Sotelo gang out there. Okay, so this is what we do every week. We're going to talk about the wild news happening in the world. Okay. I try to start with things that make me scared to go outside. And speaking of that, sharks in Brazil have tested positive for cocaine, ladies and gentlemen. Now we finally know why sharks can't stay still.
The Meg was just like coked out the whole time.
Yeah. You know they made a movie called Cocaine Shark before this study.
It wasn't. Was it just because they're like, oh, if we're gonna make that movie, we should probably make it in real life.
Yes.
Let's just
So-
reverse engineer it.
A little bit of backstory here is there's lots of cocaine in the waters of Brazil, and these sharks are packed to the gills with it. I still said it wrong. Jon Snow and the Stark family are fucking. They're into another Snow, I guess. So the sharks are packed to the gills with cocaine. Thoughts?
I mean, I don't judge.
Okay.
Whatever they do in the ocean.
Yeah. Maybe they're partying. Do you think
Look.
they're doing like sex parties and stuff like that down there?
I mean, it makes sense why they're always like so bitey. Every person I've seen that does cocaine is like. So like naturally,
That's
like
a lot
like,
of teeth to
all
gum. They're gumming a lot of teeth back there. Yeah. Maybe that's why.
They're like fuck! I can't stop moving. Like that's because they're on cocaine.
Maybe
so.
that's why dolphins hate them so much because they're like the narcs of the sea.
Well, yeah, no. Well, dolphins are just on weed. We haven't checked that article yet, but
Yeah,
they're
I
like,
think
bro, you
dolphins
chill.
are on MDMA because they fuck so much.
They're just like, yeah.
The crowd agrees.
All
the crowd agrees. They're like, that's good. Yeah.
When I think of like dolphins, I think about like the episode of King of the Hill where Hank Hill gets
this.
fucked by a dolphin. I think because he was like petting the stomach and he got turned on.
Yeah, he gets essayed by Flipper. Yes.
Yeah,
that's
my
true.
love language is King of the Hill memes. And,
Really?
like, references.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, maybe you might enjoy this. You enjoy barbecue and stuff like that, right?
Yes, I do.
So speaking of King of the Hill and barbecue, the Supreme Court says chicken wings advertised as boneless can have bones in them, according to Ohio Supreme Court. That's fucking bullshit. Everybody's pissed.
I feel bad for the person who had to like endure that for the first time. Like, oh, a chicken wing or a boneless wing that had a bone in it.
Yeah. Are you scarfing wings down like a...
I worried about my roommate Ed because he was like a Monday Wingstop person.
Okay.
And I wonder like how if he was like a diligent eater, like if he just
A
popping them
diligent
in.
eater.
Because like
What's
you
a
know,
diligent eater in your
like
mind?
you know you take bites like all right so like for instance like you take like sushi is one bite.
Okay.
2-bite brownies are in fact one bite.
Okay. Clap if you guys agree at all with understand what he's talking about.
The 2-bite brownies that you get at Target.
You know the two bite brownies.
I'm in the wrong.
The
show.
famous 2-bite brownies. Everybody.
You guys have never gotten those little brownie bites from like a Target or like a grocery store? No.
He's
They're-
talking
they're like
about
called
big ass
2-bite
brownies,
They're
and
like
he calls them
little circles.
You're talking about big ass brownies that require at least 2.
Am
bites.
I eating brownies wrong? Are we supposed to like
all
enjoy
brownies?
those too?
I'm assuming take at least 3 bites.
Okay, well, are we still like agreeing with the sushi part at least?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
am I fucking up on that?
Do people choose sushi? Clap if you choose sushi.
My mom does.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I
You
worry about
eat it and then it just goes down your gullet.
Well, no, because
that's what we're talking about.
No, but I'm okay with my mom not having like the like maybe taking a bite or two of it because she's always ordering the shit like the rolls that have like the 18,000 things on it. So it's like they're always like this big, and I'm like, yeah, maybe don't like take it all at once.
So
like,
I
don't know the Heimlich maneuver.
I one
like,
time got made fun of because I was at a very fancy very fancy wedding in Italy and they had this like mozzarella man there, and they just served full mozzarella, and I just housed like a full ball of mozzarella, and they all gasped.
they're like,
Mamma mia.
The guy's like, that's all I had. That's all I had. If we were gonna slice it up and give everyone a little, you ate the whole fucking thing.
So everybody, be diligent eaters out there, and watch out for bones. Speaking of bones, a school teacher in Pennsylvania is being accused of pleasuring himself at a cemetery. Someone needs to tell this teacher this assignment should have been homework.
That's you should be proud of that. That's very good.
Here's my other pitch. It looks like this teacher is really into deadlines. Okay, you hated that one. I'm making eye contact with that. You're a teacher.
Yeah, I have a teacher. I have a teacher.
Yeah.
And like I like how like with something like this, they probably were like, let's fucking go. He was a teacher. Let's put it on like the article. Because they don't talk about his name, they don't talk about anything, but it's always about your job title.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, well, if teacher is jacking off in
right,
public,
yeah.
I would like to know.
In the cemetery, like they probably were like.
They don't
really,
say subway worker jacking off on the subway, you know?
I wanted to think like, oh, maybe they were like really into like Hamlet, and then they went Act 5 in there, but it's an elementary teacher.
To come
There's
or
no-
not to come? That's the question.
Yeah.
That is the question. Okay. Speaking of bones again, the Olympics. Olympics Matt Dawson amputated part of his finger in order to be allowed to go to the Olympics. Yes. Apparently, it wasn't even to compete. He just didn't want a cast on to stop him from all those fingering sessions in the Olympic Village.
Oh yeah, they fuck. They fuck at that village.
Yeah.
They're like mad. They're mad about like their cardboard box beds because they're like, what are we supposed to do?
No,
like, you guys are like a heavy lifter and you're like, well, I can't fuck on the bed. Like,
Yeah.
just pick them up. Like, just pick up the ping
Pick
pong
up the
player.
fucking beds, ladies
Yeah,
and gentlemen. Pick up the beds. So, so apparently he had broken part of his finger, right? And he was going to have a cast on. And I forget what, it's some wide, he's like also like, is anybody actually watching the Olympics right now? Yeah? Okay. Favorite sport, go.
The pommel horse.
Pommel horse. So it's only because you like that guy, right?
His name, we got the same name.
So this guy was a part of the Kookaburras team. Anybody know what a Kookaburras team is?
I thought that was the game. I thought that was the actual thing there.
Yeah, the game.
That's a country?
No. The U.S. Kookaburras team. Like, that's the game, yeah.
Oh, like.
What is it?
No, I think that's a country.
No.
I don't know if that's a game. Is it a game? It's a game.
Oh, wait, it's a
thank
country.
God.
It is a country, right? It's a country.
I thought this. Oh wait,
he's a
it's
hockey.
country.
He's a hockey team. He's on the hockey team.
Oh, fuck! This is like that moment with like the beauty pageant winners were like, go find Iraq on the map. Like, I don't even know Kookaburras is a country.
I'm pretty sure Kookaburras is that one where they like they do on the ice and shoot people. Anyways,
I don't know. All my nation like references are coming from Cool Running. So Jamaica has a bobsled team. Like, that's what I got. That's.
Moving on. Speaking of Olympics, Flavor Flav is in the news. He's an ally. Flavor Flav has announced he's sponsoring the U.S. women's water polo team. Yes. He's even changing his famous catchphrase from "Yeah boy" to "Yeah buoyancy." I'll see myself out. Yeah, I'll go. No, that was
It's
terrible.
just a wall.
Yeah.
I like that he is just supporting because he's like oh
Yeah.
my kid my
Yeah.
daughter, like I want to support like whatever she does. I gotta support everything else, like
Yeah.
a real girl dad.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I think it's really, really cool.
Speaking wait before we move away,
Sure.
that zero
What zero?
in 2024, that's Mary J. Blige, right?
Has everybody seen this, right? Mary J. Blige is apparently part of the Olympics. Yes. Public enemy, more like public friend. Okay, so here we go. Let's get political. Yeah. Okay, here's a wild thing. Do you guys follow this? Trump tells Christian voters that they won't have to vote anymore if he's elected. Yeah. Should we go? Let's cut to the footage.
Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be...
Okay, let's go ahead and stop that right now. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think he meant he's going to be a dictator in 4 years, or do you think he was just having a goof? Clap if you think he was having a goof. Do you think he wants to be dictator for 4 years? Interesting.
Now I'm thinking, like, imagine if he tried to pander to other religions, like, and how like terrible he, like, how fucked up he'd be. The Jewish people, go out there and vote. Like,
He is saying that though. Yeah.
He's saying that?
Yeah. Totally.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's saying Kamala Harris is not into Jewish people, even though she's literally
She's married
into
to
her
a-
husband,
yeah.
who is Jewish.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's married to someone who's Jewish.
Yeah. I think what he meant was he meant that he didn't mean what he said. He said if he's elected, what he meant to say was no one will have to vote anymore. Anyways, dog whistles are dead, ladies and gentlemen. Dog whistles are dead. Oops.
I don't know what a dog whistle is. I mean, I had a dog whistle for my dog, but I don't know if it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's where you like pretend you're not racist while saying something like secretly racist. Yeah.
No, I do that all the time. No,
Sorry,
I'm
what?
joking. So that made me think about how Chevy Chase Road. I thought it was named after Chevy Chase.
Wait, to clap if anybody else thought that.
I was like, why is he named after this?
So everybody thought that the Glendale Road Chevy Chase was named after SNL comedian Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Does anybody know what it's actually named after? Clap if you know that. You do know what it is.
Yeah, it's like named after a Hispanic region of people that. Yeah.
I think that's Chevy Chase.
There's a town in Maryland named Chevy Chase.
Oh.
Yes.
Named after that comedian.
Yes.
Man.
You
used to say it was like a film title or like a film reference.
Yeah,
right?
no. So it's a 15th century English ballad describing the Battle of Otterburn between the Percys and the Douglases. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think you're thinking of Cesar Chavez, maybe.
Yeah, I was like, are you thinking it's Cesar Chavez?
Okay, let's move on. We got just a few more here. White Dudes for Harris held a Zoom call with 200,000 members, marking the first time white dude members on a Zoom call didn't refer to a penis. Okay, here we go. There's too much math in that. So they raised $4 million, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty good. But when you think about it, it's 200,000 white dudes. That seems pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. That's like what they make on a weekend on Bitcoin.
I was thinking at least throw like a 20. Every time I've gone out with my white friends and we're just at a bar or something, everyone just throws down the 20, even if the bill was like $10. It just seems customary.
Yeah,
they should have raised more.
Seems and also Jeff Bridges was there. And he likes Kamala Harris. That's what he's as the dude. Okay, last one, ladies and gentlemen. All right, this one literally there's no joke here. A car in India hit a divider while drunk adults were performing a threesome inside while in the presence of 4 kids.
I think the 4 kids part is fucked up, but
yeah. So let's go ahead. We're gonna play. You and I. We're gonna play a game and try to make sense of this headline. What do you think happened in this headline?
I'm thinking car with 4 kids rams into divider as drunk youths perform threesome inside. I don't know. I think that's pretty. A car with 4 kids and 3. I don't know what you're asking.
I would rephrase this as 3 people having a threesome crashed into a car. Surprise! There's kids in there.
Oh, so there's because youngsters, they don't say the age of the kids, so it's probably some
they're
teenagers.
18 to 19. They're all of age.
Teenagers are like sophomores, and one of them's got a car and they're cruising around the city.
Yes,
and then they drive into the bang bus. That's.
Is everybody uncomfortable with this story? Is that what's happening? This is an uncomfortable story because of the kids are involved.
I feel like the kids were driving because they were busy having a threesome, so they didn't crash.
Oh, interesting. That's an interesting thought. Who was driving the car?
Is it 2 cars?
It's 1 car.
4 kids and 3 youngsters.
We're not going to read the story, but because I like this discussion.
There are 3 of the threesome people, 3 of the kids.
No, the 3. Okay, so let's break this down. All right, let's like this. So the threesome was with the youths. Okay, those were the of age people banging it out. Okay. The youth, 3 youths, right? It's a weird phrasing. They could have just said people. I don't know why they did that. There's a translation from India, I think. Subsequently, surprise, there's 4 kids somewhere in the car.
This is 1 car.
Yes, this is 1 car.
Yeah.
So are they fucking inside the divider?
Yeah, they're fucking inside the divider. No, they're all in 1 car. People rush over to help the people in this car. They see them banging it out, and then yes.
Wait, so there's 7 people?
There's 7 people in this car. Congratulations. You get a gold star.
All right, so yeah. Because
Who is driving?
If
That's
it's
the question.
one of the kids and not the youngsters, is youngsters older than kids in this situation?
The youngsters are older than the kids.
So
The youths
it's
are
like
older
this-
than the kids.
This 8-year-old just like, oh shit.
Hey, here's a twist.
That's why they
Now here's a
crash.
twist. Here's a twist. The threesome, 2 guys, 1 girl. Okay, that's standard.
I don't
okay.
know if I would be shocked. Because it's
All
two
right.
guys, if they're youngsters, they're just like, oh, we're gonna bone. All right, cool, y'all.
Okay.
Yo,
I just wasn't
anything.
sure. Like, I just want to know, like, what's the.
No, it's wild. It's wild. It's wild.
This
it's wild
is-
more because of the math of it. Now we have to think about the math of it. Like 7
Get a chalkboard
people,
up right now.
The
yeah.
minimum size vehicle that you could get is the minivan.
Right.
So how does 3 youngsters? All right. So
If a car is traveling at
at
65 miles an hour towards a divider,
oh, I'm
and
not
there's
even
3
there yet.
Okay.
This is now my 10. No, so like you have to have like a Sprinter van, or like one of those like like the like those ones that they sell by the droves in Utah.
Okay.
Where it's like for all the sister wives and everything.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta get that van.
Okay, like a Mercedes, like
that
like a
big
ba-
one.
I don't think.
Like the John and Kate.
What
plus
if I were to tell
8
you this was a Prius?
Then they're all clowns.
Okay.
And they're all coming out with
Well,
the big
thank you
shoes.
so much. This is your wild news. That was
wild.
Oh, I love it. All right, let's give it up for our next segment here for the part you have all been waiting for. This is a segment called Wild Times. I'll be inviting 3 of my wildest friends. They're going to tell a wild story right now, and you guys are going to vote on which person is the wildest. All right? Let's give it up for our first wild timer. He will need to grab the microphone and I'm the co-host. Thank you, Steve. Let's set that center. There's music happening underneath right now.
Check.
This man, he's incredibly funny. He's driving all the way from Missouri right now. It's Chance Nichols.
Yes, so I read the story. So what happened was there were 4 kids.
4 kids.
And it was 3 adults, 2 men, 1 woman. The woman was giving pleasure to the 2 men simultaneously, while 4 children were in the back seat. The 1 man was driving while receiving pleasure. The woman was reaching behind her, doing pleasure to the other man.
Oh, in
and
the back.
kids were in the back seat.
Oh my goodness!
Something happened while they were pleasuring. Careened the car into the middle thing. When eyewitnesses showed up, what happened was they showed up and all of the adults were naked and the children were in the back seat of the crashed car.
Oh my God!
And so that's what happened.
What happened.
And it's wild. What's really is that they would use the words kids and youths and youngsters all in the same story, describing 4 actual children and 3 grown adults having sex with each other.
Yes.
And between kids, youths, and youngsters, 2 of those were used to describe the adults. And I just can't wait to make America great again.
Yes.
All right. Well, anyhow, that doesn't count towards my time, by the way.
It does.
So my wild story, I have to get into this right away. So when I was in college, can you believe? When I was in college, I lived in a scary little house, and it was falling down. There was a tree growing up through the roots, and where I went to school, it was basically like a forest that they built a town into, and so there's a lot of critters like roaming around where this house was. And one day, me and my roommates, we came home. Also, in this house, I spent a full year in this house living in a hallway. That's because I moved in. There were 4 bedrooms, and I was the 5th roommate, so I slept on the floor of the hallway in front of the upstairs bathroom. So that's what level of white trash I am. So what happened was we were all at the house one day, and some of our crackers had started to go missing, and some of our bread had started to go missing as well. And there were little rips in the ramen noodle bags and things like that. And we were like, "Oh no, this has happened before. There's probably mice in the house." Because in the 3 years I lived in that house, we pulled out over 200 mice, a bat, a possum, and two squirrels, and what I'm about to tell you on top of all of that. So we were constantly, because there's just holes in the house. There was just holes all over the sides of the house. Anybody could come in. And so we were like, all right, we got some mice. So we laid out some little mice traps, and nothing ever came of it. And then one night, my roommate Darian, he was texting all of us at 2 a.m, and he's texting, "Guys, they're in the walls. They're around my bed. These are not mice. These are heavy." And so we were like, well, we'll have to do something else about this now. So we went to a Home Depot and we bought sticky traps. And now I heard a few little. Now it's not apparent. We did not know this, but apparently it's pretty inhumane to use sticky traps on animals, which we thought it was the opposite because it keeps the animal alive rather than kill it. So we were gonna sticky it and then grab it and take it to a field and unsticky it, saving its life but causing a little bit of pain. So that's what we were gonna do. So we laid the sticky down in our living room and we waited a night and nothing happened. Then we waited another night and nothing happened. But then the next morning, I'm awoken to a pounding on my door. I upgraded into an actual room by this time. I pounding on my door. It's my roommate Adam, and he's like, "Open up! Get out here! It's not a rat! It's not a squirrel! It's a skunk!" And so I go down to my kitchen, and there is an adult skunk stuck to the floor. It had gotten into the sticky trap and tried to roll out of the sticky trap, and its fur had sticky on it. So now its fur is sticky to the linoleum floor of the kitchen, and it's going like this, trying to pull itself off, and I'm just standing there going, well, fuck me. So I'm just like, all right, well, I guess I'll take care of this. So I call animal control, and their automatic voice thing says, we don't open until 8 a.m. It was 7:30. So for 30 minutes, I sat on the stairs and listened to just head in my hands. And I was also trying to text our landlord to see, because we were supposed to like get his permission before like people come in to do work in the house, but he was at a Kid Rock concert with his with his second wife, so couldn't reach out to him. He had been at a Kid Rock concert the night before, so the skunk is in there. I finally call animal control. It's 8 a.m. I'm like, hi. So there's a skunk stuck to my kitchen floor, and boy, are my arms tired. I know. And so there's a skunk stuck in my kitchen floor. Can you send somebody to come get it? And they're like, oh, we don't do skunks. And I was like, it is an animal that needs to be controlled. You're animal control. You work for the city government. My tax dollars, I didn't pay taxes at the time, pay your salary, get down here. And they were like, no, you need a critter control person. And so I'm like, I forgot we're in Missouri where everybody fucks their cousins. So that's Arkansas. So I'm like, fine. They're like, here's a number for a critter control person. But call the critter control person. They're open. And they go, I say, hi, there's a skunk stuck to my kitchen floor, and I need you to come and get it for me, and I'll give you money for it. And they said, oh, we don't do skunks. And so I yell into the phone, what's true here? So animals and critters, the skunk is not either of those things. So they're like, no, you need a skunk specialist. Here's his number. Mind you, his number, not a company's number. It's a guy. So I'm like, fine, I'm desperate. This thing is in the kitchen still. So I call this number, and it's just a man named Randy. And Randy's like, hello! And I go, hi, I got your number from Chilton's Pest Control. They said that you could come. I've got a skunk stuck in a sticky trap on my kitchen floor. Is there any way you could come? Here's the address. Could you come get rid of it? And he goes, oh, yeah. I'll be there in about 45 minutes. And I go, okay. And so then I sit for over an hour waiting for him while the skunk is still suffering in the kitchen. And all the while that I'm doing this, I start Googling, what happens when a skunk sprays in your house? The answer is you have to move out of that house. Because a skunk spray isn't just a bad smell, it chemically alters fibers, and they will never not smell bad again. Oh, wow. And our house was fully carpeted, just beds, curtains, everything, all your clothes, because it gets into the central air ducts and it just spreads the shit around immediately. So I'm freaking out, and then I also start Googling I Googled, and I'm not proud of this, I Googled, if you shoot a skunk in the head, will it spray? Will it void its bowels and spray? Because my backup plan was to go get one of my dad's guns. He tried to storm the Capitol a few years back, so he had a lot of guns.
Shit.
And I was gonna shoot it through its head, and just like one shot killed. And I didn't know if it would spray. So anyway, Randy shows up with his girlfriend Crystal, and let me tell you, Crystal is a personification of you are what you eat, and so she's real. She's got the marks all over her arms, the shaky face, all the things, and Randy is missing an eye, and Randy is wearing overalls with nothing underneath. So Randy comes in with a plastic Tupperware thing and a metal sheet and a little squirt gun. And I'm like, it's in there. And he goes, all right, okay. And he goes and he looks at it and he goes, oh yeah, no problem. And so he takes the squirt gun and he crouches down by the skunk and he starts going, he's doing that. He's doing the thing from the movie. And he's spraying the squirt around the skunk gently. It's like his own homemade chemical solution to break up the sticky trap. And he's like, like making all these wild noises. The skunk has calmed down. The skunk is not going anymore. It's just like listening to him. And then he like motions for Crystal, and she gives him the metal sheet, and she takes the Tupperware thing, and like in perfect sync, like they're the Navy SEALs, he goes, and she slams it down on top of the skunk while he scoops up under it like a spatula and scrapes it off the floor, and they all stand up in one solid motion, and he goes, move, Crystal! And they run out of my house with the skunk in this, and we slam the door shut behind them, and it did not spray in the house.
Wow.
Yeah, and they put it on the back, and he was like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna check the yard for more skunks. So he goes and he finds 4 more skunks in our basement that he removes without issue. He puts a trap out, they run into the trap of their own accord, and it's all taken care of very nicely. I guess to end the story, Randy then, for the next 3 years, until I graduated and moved away, would text me all the time. He would text me memes. He would text me questions about cool places to take his girlfriend downtown. I helped set him up. Our college theater program had a summer outdoor theater that had a skunk problem, where skunks were coming up at the old people while they were watching the theater. And I set him up with my high school theater or my college theater program, and they paid him to remove all the skunks. So I got him work. We kind of became friends, and I think he might be dead now. So that's that story. Thank
Give it up for Chance Nichols, everybody. Yes. All right. Let's keep this rolling with our next comic. She's a wild, wild person. Also coming from the great state of Utah. It's Bethany Michaels, everybody!
Oh my God, give it up for Chance. He killed it with that skunk story. In my memory, it was a raccoon. But the skunk is way scarier. And Adam and Steve, thank you for letting me be here.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have all probably been in a Lyft or an Uber, right? Anybody have a preference? Lyft? Make some noise if you like Lyft. Woo! Okay. Oh my God. Lots of... After you hear the story, maybe not. Uber? Anybody in Uber loyalty? Okay. Smart. You're very smart. Yeah, I think when we're in a Lyft or an Uber, we all start just forgetting our morals and our values because of that rating system, the mutual rating system, right? That'll scare you into agreeing to whatever that driver wants, whatever that driver says, their political beliefs, maybe their religion, because you just need to get from point A to point B. And this is a story that I experienced. One of the most dangerous Lyft rides I've ever been in, that I no longer use Lyft because of this instance. So I hope you're all okay. This won't be too scary. I'm okay. Everything was okay. So know that up at the top.
Oh, God. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wearing the outfit of my dad's people, federal prisoners. but I'm not one, so don't worry. Everyone's okay in this at the end of the story. It was Christmas in Utah, and it was taking forever to get home. Me and my boyfriend were coming home from a Christmas party, and we were waiting so long for a Lyft drive, we were almost about to walk. That's how long it took. Finally, this man answers, picks us up, and immediately he's weird. Immediately he's asking what we're doing late at night and asking why we're out in a snowy night. I'm feeling uncomfortable, but I'm really chatty when that happens, so I just keep talking to him. And he's like, you got to be really careful around these streets. You never know who you might run into. And I was like, oh, yeah, totally. He's like, I always stay ready. And I always stay ready, too. Honestly, I've been ready to keep my 4.9 rating always. Shout out to all my purses I've thrown up in. I still have a 4.9 rating. I don't keep all my purses, though. I've also lost a lot of shirts that I was like, pull over, and I just took my shirt off and threw it in the gutter, and we kept going. Yeah, 4.9. That's how you get the 4.9. If your tits are out and you didn't get throw up in their car, they're ready. They're happy that you're in their car. But this night, my boyfriend is giving me signs the whole night, like, stop talking to him, like, be quiet kind of thing. And I'm like, I can't. He's talking to me. And in a way that he's looking back and talking to me. And so I continue to engage, as I do with many crazies in my life. And he's like, yeah, I always stay ready. I always keep a gun on me. And he pulls it from underneath where he has it like stationed right by the driver's steering wheel. And he pulls it out and he's like, what's your favorite gun? And I was like, that one. I love those guns. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah. And my boyfriend's in this. And I was like, stop talking to him. And I was like, yeah. How long till we're at my apartment? 5 minutes still. And he goes, oh my God, if you love handguns. And he racks it. And he's like, don't worry. I'm sure you've used a gun before. And he passes it back to me. Oh my God! While he's still driving. And that's exactly what I did.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I would like to say I took longer to think about grabbing that gun, but I didn't. The 1 second I did think about grabbing that gun was just make sure your fingerprints aren't anywhere near where he could frame you for a murder. Okay. That's the only thought I had. Yeah. And so I did grab the gun by where it shoots boo-boo. I was like, no one who's committing a crime grabs it from here. And then I just held it and I said, yeah, I like the black guns. But actually, my favorite gun is tan. And he said, oh my God, I love the military issue. And I said, yeah. And my boyfriend's just sitting pressed up against the other side, like, give it back. And I was like, well, this is a nice gun. Thank you so much, sir. And he said, yeah, I always keep that on me. Put it back. And we got out of the car. He said, hey, you guys ever want to hang out or go to the shooting range? Just let me know. You should message me on Lyft. I'll give you my phone number. Oh. And actually, this is why me and my boyfriend broke up, because he was like, you have to report him. Like, you have to tell Lyft right now that this guy handed you a gun. And I was like, well, we're breaking up because you're fucking stupid, because this man knows where I live. I really hope he's not handing his gun out to a lot of people. And he'll ultimately know it was me, right? No, we got in a huge fight about it because he's like, no, he probably does that all the time. He seemed really comfortable handing you that gun. And I was like, I think I made him really comfortable handing me that gun. I think this is actually my fault. And so, yeah, I didn't report him because I was terrified that he would find out where I was living and come back and yell at me for ruining his rating. So
Oh my God.
I don't go in lifts anymore. Uber always. Thank you. My name
Give
is
it up
Bethany.
for Bethany Michaels, everybody. Yes, that was wild. Oh my gosh. All right, let's give it up for our final comedian. He's new to the podcast. He's a very funny man. It is Brian Smight.
How we doing, guys? I'd like to make a quick comment on Chance's story. I actually had a really bad rat problem at a house I lived in, and we were setting traps in the attic every night, catching like 10 of them at a time. And one night, I awoke to a gunshot inside of my house, and I went in my roommate's room, and from the AC grill on his wall, there was blood leaking down the wall.
Oh my God.
Like there was a demon in the attic giving birth. And I was like, what the fuck just happened in here? And he's like, dude, I awoke to a rat that had fallen into the AC grill and was trapped in there. And it couldn't get out. And he's like, I didn't know what to do. I couldn't, like, if I unscrew the grill, it's just going to run into my room. So he got out his Glock and he shot it in the face.
Good man.
Point blank range. That was what he did.
Combining our stories.
Yeah, that's combining the stories. Here, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. That kind of, this is a theme that's developing. Anyway, for my story, I'll tone it down a little bit. I had a pretty wild slumber party one time when I was 16. You guys ever have one of those? You know, the parents are gone. My friend's parents went out of town. My friend had a bachelor dad who we all, he might have been closeted. We don't know. Very nice guy. He was a bike rider. He wore those like Lycra bodysuits. And he had like a little fanny pack full of granola bars. And he's a really sweet man. And one weekend he's going out of town. It's weird having two comics behind me. I don't know what they're reacting to or thinking. Anyway, sweet man. We shared a name. His name was also Brian. And one weekend he's like, I'm going out of town. He's like, if you guys want to hang out here, I left a little money on the counter. You can get a pizza. And he was like, just don't stay up too late, you know? And I'm like, oh, sure, we won't. So he goes, and it's me and my friend Dustin, who is his son. And we invite our friend Miles over. And Miles is from a broken family. He's like a shaggy white dude with hair down to his nipples, and he's kind of sullen. And he comes over. We're like, hey, Miles, come hang out with us. And he gets there, and he goes, hey, do you guys want to get some Coke? What? And I'd never done Coke before. I was 16. And he's like, I think my mom can get us some Coke. And it's like, well, this slumber party's getting real fun real quick. And Miles' mom was an intravenous heroin user, and sure enough, she showed up about an hour later with an 8-ball of Coke, and she sold it to us. And at the time, I was like, damn, dude, your mom's fucking chill. But looking back now as an adult, I'm like, that's actually not that chill to give an 8-ball to a bunch of 16-year-old boys. If you don't know what an 8-ball is, it's an eighth of Coke. It's 3.5 grams. It's a lot of Coke, especially for 3 like 100-pound boys. And we're doing rails. We're using the pizza money as a tutor, you know. We're doing Coke off the counter, and needless to say, we do not have an appetite for pizza. And after doing Coke for like 2 hours, it's like a hot summer night. We're sweaty, and for some reason, we're like in our underwear at this point. My friend had one of his dad's ties like wrapped around his head like Rambo. And someone got the bright idea, like, we should figure out how to make crack cocaine. So this story keeps getting cooler, trust me. So we went on the internet and we started looking up videos, how do you make crack? And this was like 2005. So we're on like Arrowhead and all these like weird websites figuring out how to make crack. It actually is as easy as you've heard it is. You really do just need...
Okay, we're going to cut that part. Just kidding.
It's also an educational podcast for everyone at home.
The recipe.
Bleep that.
Bon appetit
when you put those 3 things in a spoon together and you heat it up, this form of cocaine that's oily bubbles up to the top, and then you dip a nickel in it, and the oil sticks to the nickel, and that oil is crack cocaine. You take the nickel out, and the oil immediately like starts to harden and crystallize at room temperature, and then you just put it on a piece of tin foil and you light it and you fucking smoke it, and then you're smoking crack. You know? So we start making these batches of crack, and we're guinea pigging them on Miles because he seemed like the natural choice. You know, he comes from a broken home. We didn't figure his mom would mind if we. And like the first couple batches, he's like ripping it, and we're like looking all closely at him, and we're like waiting with bated breath, and it's like not working. And he's like, I don't know, dude. I don't think I feel it. And it was also probably hard to tease out the crack from the 75 lines of coke that we'd already done. But eventually, I'll say like batch number 4, Miles takes this rip of crack, and it was undeniable. That was crack. Everyone in the room knew immediately, especially Miles, because his pupils took over his entire eyeball. And we were trying to speak to him, and he was just looking straight at the ground. He's like, it's working, you know? And we were like, holy shit, dude. And so I was pretty scared to smoke it after that. I was like, you know what? I think I'm good with the 30 lines of coke I did. I don't know if I want to. And he finally comes down from this crack rush, and he looks like he had some kind of epiphany. And he's like, we should go on a joyride right now. So we hop into his hatchback 1991 cream-colored Honda Civic, and we drive to Ralph's. Our neighborhood grocer, and we fill a shopping cart with 30 packs and handles of vodka, and then we cover that with like pizza and ice cream to like hide all the alcohol that's in there. I'm sure we didn't look conspicuous at all, just 3 ruthlessly coked out, sweaty 16-year-olds pacing around a grocery store. And then we're like, how are we gonna do this? And Miles is like, dude, it's easy. You just walk out the front door. They don't even stop you. And we're like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, if you just act like you're supposed to be here, no one will say anything. And he's kind of right. We walked out the front door, and the last thing I remember is the produce guy just kind of like looking at us walking out the door like, what's going on? And then we just walked out, and we opened his hatchback, and we dumped all the groceries in there, and we left. We get back to his house. It was weirdly easy to do that. And we arrange all of the booty in a pyramid. 30 packs, handles, we like artfully do it because we just want to stare at it, you know? And then Dustin is like, dude, we got to take a picture of this and send it to every chick we know because people are going to want to party with us tonight. God. So we take a picture of it with a 2005 Nokia brick, a super pixely cell phone photo, and we text it to every woman we know and every cool kid we know. And maybe the saddest part of the story is that even with all that, no women wanted to hang out with us. Nobody responded. So instead, we went on another joyride, and we picked up this kid named Cameron who lived down the street, who was a tweaker, who lived with his house was like, there were a bunch of rusty yard tools in the garage and like El Caminos on cinder blocks in the front yard, you know the house. We pick up Cameron, and we start driving around, and we're drinking Coronas that we just stole in the car. And Cameron started peeing into these Corona bottles and hurling them out the window of the Honda at various...
Oh, my God.
And they're glass bottles. So we are now 3 extremely coked out 16-year-olds Tokyo drifting around corners in a 91 cream-colored Honda hatchback and hurling glass bottles of warm urine out of the window. And we're driving down this road going about 60 miles an hour, and there's a center divider with like a mound on it that has like trees. And Miles has kind of like a mullet, you know. So does Cameron. It's kind of the do for those kind of people, you know. And Cameron starts playing with Miles' mullet while he's driving. And Miles doesn't like that. He is none too pleased, and he's still coming down off his first crack experience. So he turns around to punch Cameron. And when he does this, he turns the wheel of the car very far right and starts swerving. Ooh. Then he overcorrects and swerves left, drives up onto the embankment. Then he turns again and flips the car over. The next thing I know, I am sitting in a catcher position, like a baseball catcher, on the roof of this car. And I hear everyone screaming my name. I think I got briefly knocked out because no one else is in the car. and everyone's screaming my name to like get out of the car. And my whole side of the car is smashed, so I can't get out. But there's one window on the left side that's still open, and there's glass everywhere. And I remember thinking, like, a car is going to come down the street, not see it, and just hit the car before I can get out, and I'm going to die. So a lot of adrenaline, a lot of coke. And I crawl out of this car on my hands and knees. You remember that scene in Jurassic Park where there's, like, the mud coming into the... It reminded me of that. I get out of the car, and I guess I'm okay. There's, like, blood in my face. And... Cameron immediately disappears into the bushes, and I never saw him again. Ever. Or heard from him. He did live 2 houses down from my mom's house, and the SWAT team did raid his house once.
Oh, my God.
Because his brother stabbed his dad with a Civil War-era bayonet.
Oh, hell yeah.
So they sent the SWAT team in, but I never saw Cameron. Anyway, great family. Immediately, Miles is on the curb crying, and he's like, oh, my God, my life is over. I'm fucked. Because we've also been drinking. I mean, it's going to be bad when the cops get there. Meanwhile, a couple has, like a 30-something couple has pulled up behind us, and they're very responsible, and they're like, oh, my God, are you okay? We've already called the police. They're on their way. We're like, well, that's not good news to us, actually. Kind of hoping you wouldn't do that. Miles knows he's fucked. So he's on the curb just, like, head in his hands. And Dustin looks at me and he goes, we got to get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, I was like, all right. So I just start following up this weird little service road. And we make it up, I don't know, 100 yards. And we're in the dark. And Dustin starts like groaning. He's like, oh, dude, my leg feels kind of fucked up. My back hurts. And we're still, he's like, we got to keep running. We got to get out of here. Then all of a sudden a floodlight hits both of us. And there's a sheriff. And he's somehow come up some back road and found us, and he's on a megaphone. And he's like, stop exactly where you are. We're both in the light. And and he goes, were you two just involved in a car accident on Hillcrest Boulevard? And Dustin looks straight at the officer. I look at Dustin. This is the first time I've seen him in full light. He is drenched in sweat. He has the entire left side of his body is completely rubbed raw from road rash. His jeans are completely tattered. His shirt is halfway ripped off. His like nipples are like oozing blood. His pupils are like this fucking big. The cop goes, were you just involved in a car accident? And Dustin looks straight at the cop and he goes, no, sir. 2 other cops get out of the car and they're like, why don't you boys come with us? They detain us. They put us in the back of the cop car. They forced us to go in the ambulance because we were both bleeding. And while we're standing outside of the ambulance, Dustin starts groaning and saying his back hurts. And the cops thought he was being dramatic about it. They thought he was trying to like get out of getting in trouble. But we do finally get to the ER, and it turns out his pelvis was fractured, and he had to get bolts in his legs.
Oh.
I had like a goose egg on my head, and I was bleeding a little bit, but I was okay. My mom was too drunk to come pick me up at the ER, so I walked home. But Dustin was on crutches for 6 months after this, and I started using his crutches at high school to go into the school cafeteria and pretend to be a friendly cripple so that I could steal burritos from the school cafeteria. Oh my God. And I did that about 100 times before I got caught. And before this goes into just a daisy chain of my entire troubled childhood, I think that'll be the end of the story, guys. That was a wild slumber party.
Oh, give it up for Brian Smight, everybody. You can take that mic and go sit down there. Take it.
Keep it.
Grab it. Oh, my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your comics so far. Yeah. Jesus. Woo, what a journey. What a journey. All right, we're going to do the part where we were talking about. We're going to vote for the wildest person. What, you got something to say, Chance?
I'd just like to point out that these two didn't see my set.
Yeah, that's
Thank
true.
You.
So you get an automatic plus. All right, so actually, Chance, go ahead and do it again. Actually.
Well, anyway, the Indian people.
Everybody, okay, so the wildest person, when I say his name, give me a clap and we will go off volume here. Chance Nichols. Okay, all right. All right, Bethany Michaels. All right, okay. And Brian Smight. Oh, wow, okay. Let's do this one more time. Let's do it. Chance Nichols. Bethany Michaels. Okay. Brian Smight. Motherfucker, I think we got a tie. What the hell are we gonna do?
Sounds exactly
They're
the
all
same.
winners in
They
my
all,
book.
you guys were all really, really good.
Our trauma's all good.
Oh my gosh.
I
Well,
don't know if there's
I
a
guess-
winner in this.
yeah.
I mean, you got a gun in your hand or you got, drugs in your system.
you've got drugs in
Or
your
a
system,
skunk.
gun in hand, or
Or a
or
skunk
a
in your
dead
house.
skunk.
I don't know.
Mine sounds like a fun little Disney tale.
I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna break the tie.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah,
all three
I
of you.
would love that. A three-way
No.
rock,
Okay.
paper, scissors. No, yeah, we're not driving. Three-way rock, paper, scissors right now.
Weird that turned out that way. Okay, I'm gonna vote for Brian Smight because that was just a goddamn journey.
Yeah.
Everybody, give it up for Brian. Everybody, he's a newcomer and he just one insane story. Okay, so the next part we're going to talk to Brian about. We're just gonna interview him about that story. Is that cool?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so how much crack have you done in your life? Just quick question.
That's actually the only time I've attempted to smoke cocaine. So
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to, when you Googled how to make it, how long did it take for you to actually find it?
There was kind of a consensus on the internet. It's actually it's actually more simple than like making brownies.
It was a Reddit post. It was a Reddit post already, and this was the most upvoted for the recipe.
Yeah, there's nothing to it. Yeah, I mean, it's really just kitchen essentials and Coke. And you can do it.
Just again, all bleeped. And also, sorry for apologizing, but yeah, needed to bleep that for sure. But that's great. Okay, so given that story, there's so many journeys of that, so many a real odyssey, if you will. If you had to advise your younger self, what would you say, and how would you change how you interacted in that scenario?
I would say don't do a lethal amount of Schedule 1 narcotics with a bunch of teenage boys and then go rob a grocery store and then go on a joyride hurling beer bottles of piss at public property.
Okay.
Did you ever go back to that Ralph's?
I don't know that I did, actually.
They're like, that guy looks familiar.
Yeah.
I'd just like to say, for somebody who was doing the Schedule 1 narcotics at 16 years old, for somebody who was 16 years old in 2005 doing those drugs, you look stunningly good still.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Very sprightly.
Oh, thank you.
So what we're going to do now, everybody give it up for your winner, Brian Smight, everybody. Okay, we got a few more things here. We're going to do a wild redemption. Now we're going to transport back in time to that fateful night. Brian, you're going to play yourself with that new advice. And we, all of us, are now part of that slumber party right now. Okay? All right. Well, hey, everybody. Thanks so much for coming over. I'm really excited to be hanging out with all of you for the slumber party.
Yeah.
Hey, it's me, the dad. You kids, here's some money for pizza. Have a good time. Goodbye.
Oh, can I have a granola out of your fanny pack real quick?
Oh, sure. I'm a sweetheart.
He throws it. It lands in my mouth perfectly.
There you go.
Okay, now that phony's out of the way, let's get some cocaine. You guys want to get some fucking cocaine? Brian, you look down for this.
I don't know, I was hoping maybe just dinner and a movie, you know? Easy night.
Dinner and the movie.
I don't know if I want to do the cocaine.
Darren.
I brought the Halo 3.
You brought Halo 3?
Yeah, I brought the Halo 3.
Guys, I'm thinking, listen.
Hey, kids, hold on real quick. Why is John C. Reilly here? Are you guys friends with John? You know what? It's fine. Dad out.
We're about John. First off, John, so glad you came in to stop by with us today.
No, I was a friend of your dad's. He just left without me.
Oh wait, Christopher Walken, when'd you get here too?
Wow.
You're now two characters.
Son, stop being mean.
Okay.
All right, for real this time.
Listen, Brian, you don't want to do cocaine tonight?
I don't know, I was hoping maybe we could just, have some wholesome fun.
Ring,
I'm
ring.
hoping I could maybe change the trajectory of my entire life so that I don't
Tonight?
wind up... I don't really want to wind up doing open mic comedy in my mid-30s, maybe...
Ring, ring, son. I got an 1/8 of cocaine.
Oh, hey, Mom?
Hi, buddy.
Mom, oh my gosh, Mommy,
I
Mommy.
miss you.
Mommy, I love you so
I've been
much.
doing some heroin. You want some cocaine?
Hey, quick question. Yeah, I would love some. Quick question. Does
Yeah.
intravenous mean in the vein or just kind of irregularly? I've always wondered.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you in 5. See you in 5. I'm
See you
texting you my
soon.
address. So my mom's on the way with the cocaine.
Yeah. That doesn't sound like a decision made by committee. You just kind of did that.
Oh, no, we don't have to do it, though. I just felt like once we got it, we could just stare at it and maybe send pictures to all the hot girls that we know.
It sounds.
John is having a stroke right now.
I'm just real nervous. And I don't really know. I thought it sounds premeditated. What you want to do?
Okay.
I don't even. I brought the Xbox. my brothers can kick my ass.
So
I
wait.
took it from his bedroom.
Everybody, let's vote right now. Okay, who votes for Xbox? Okay, that's 2 votes for Xbox. Who votes for making homemade crack cocaine? Oh, there's other people here at this party.
Who are they?
They're all voting for that. Sorry, Brian and John C. Riley, you're outvoted. We're making
I want
cocaine.
my money, bitch.
Oh. Say again? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you got to sell it, John C. Riley.
I gotta do it.
Wait, so Brian, we've been wanting to do cocaine. You and I, we've been talking about this for years. When we were getting our mullets together, we were standing next to each other talking about it.
Yeah, but now that it's on the way, I'm feeling a little nervous, and I think I just want to be a good little boy.
Aw.
Brian, I'm also Brian. I remember that now. And I think you're on the right track. I think that you should, there are winners and there are losers in life, and it starts pretty early. And kids that want to experiment and stuff like that, maybe they're trying to fill a hole with cocaine and marijuana and beer that could be filled with tennis balls and baseballs and a wrestling singlet. So why don't you and I get out of here and we go down to the rec center and I sign you up for some teams.
Let's do that. You know what? That sounds better to me.
Dad, I thought you were going on vacation.
I was, but the Russian woman that I was talking to on Friendster turned out to be a man in Idaho.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
so now I'm going to take your friend and raise him as a better son than you.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Okay, just
Don't
to get this
worry,
straight,
baby, I
you're
got
my
you.
dad. My mom is in a different place. I don't want to establish this reality. You're my dad.
Yeah.
My mom is doing heroin somewhere else, and she's coming.
I'm already here.
to visit. Oh, Mom!
Oh, it's my ex-wife, the crack whore.
Excuse me, older Brian.
Hello, sweetheart.
Let me have my soapbox with the younger Brian.
Oh,
good.
It's a real angel devil situation. I like this.
Younger Brian, don't
Yeah.
you want all the pussy in the world? You're 16, and I can show you the cool way to get pussy. You want a good time? I'm only gonna sell it to my son for $20.
Honey,
This is at least $100 worth of coke.
honey, I just need to stay. Did you just come into this house trying to sell drugs to minors and are now giving a minor advice on how to get pussy?
Yeah. I also wanted to tell my son I love him.
I love you too. Mommy, I love you. Mommy.
I think I'd like to put our family back together.
Do you think girls would hang out with me if I had a lot of coke?
Yeah.
Really?
I would hang out with you. Let's hang out right now.
Does John C. Riley has some advice.
I think I need to interject just a tad bit. Now, I don't know. It seems to me, I thought I knew you people. I don't know y'all at all. But this is my soapbox now.
Okay.
I'm wondering where I went wrong. Talking to you people, trying to convince young boys to do drugs and to go wrestle older men. And it's made me look at the man in the mirror and realize maybe this is not where I'm supposed to be. Maybe I'm not supposed to be in Missouri. I'm supposed to be in a different state. It's 2005, the land of opportunities. And I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go return this Xbox because it seems clear to me that we are not playing Halo 3. And my brother is still going to kick my ass. And then I'm going to get my ass to Hollywood.
Are you sure you don't want to just go play doubles with Senior Brian here? We could
Come
go to the
on.
Y and have a good, wholesome time.
Yeah.
You initially invited me. You ditched me, you fucking bitch.
Okay. Well, that was when I thought that that you were going to do drugs with these teenagers. But if we've all sort
You
of
just
agreed,
left us alone with him?
yeah, he's John C. He was in Dances with Wolves. I can't stop him. I think was John C. Reilly in Dances with Wolves?
No.
I am right
He
here.
was in Chicago.
And I can attest that I was, in fact, in Dances with Wolves.
What's the movie you were in with Meryl Streep where it's like on a river and like you're a bad guy and Meryl Streep's
Chicago.
Bridge on the River Quiet.
Is that what it? Bridge on the
Step
River
Brothers?
Quiet?
I'm thinking of River immediately. I
Okay.
don't remember.
It probably doesn't matter. I think we need to get back to Brian.
Guys, the Coke is getting cold.
And I gotta get my money.
Brian, what's your decision?
I think I want to go.
Go. Wait. A new option
I'm getting a
has
little worried
arisen.
Wait, well, okay. You had your soapbox already. Okay.
John C. Reilly's getting
Go
taller.
with me. Go with me, young man.
I'm getting a little concerned that Brian wants to molest me. So sounds like my choices are that or a crippling lifetime of addiction. So I think I might just run away with your Xbox and go play Halo in my room alone.
Oh.
He became his own man.
And that's
the
our wild
story.
redemption, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh, give it up for your improvisers, your comics. Okay, we got one final segment.
Wait, I actually.
Oh.
I don't know. It's your anniversary. You know, it's the anniversary episode, and I'm wondering for you, what has your what are your thoughts about the past year?
Oh, okay.
Of
We're
everything.
Get a little serious.
Yeah,
Get in my soapbox.
Of course. This is a celebration.
It's been honestly, truly, truly crazy to be able to tell some very funny friends, some very wild people to come onto the show. Very recently. Yeah, I'll just keep going. Very recently, we had a few viral moments. Steve and I, we actually had this moment with Chris Hansen. Is that a cheeseburger?
Yeah.
Okay.
He told you he was
Are
gonna
you hungry?
do this.
I was literally about to wrap up the show. Okay. Abella Danger recently commented on a post of mine for this show, and that's a real thing that happened because we were calling out one of her weirdos. Abella Danger's a porn star. Yeah, don't act like you didn't know. So it's been a very weird thing that's been happening. We've had very viral videos happening. What the fuck are you doing? Anyways, thank you all so much for doing this. We're going to end this segment. We're going to end the show with our famous Wild Wheel. I don't even know what's going to happen next. We have some segments here for the last segment here. It's called Wild Opinions, Wild Card, Wild Guess, Wild Flowers, and I'm going to spin this wheel. And all of us are going to play this final game, all right? Actually, all right. You know what? You get to spin the wheel. Why don't you come over here? Yes, come up here.
Wow.
Go ahead. All right. And it's landed on Wild Card. I was so hoping for this. Okay, so this is a game called Wild Card. We are all going to be in an interrogation room. All of you just got arrested. I'm a police officer. Okay, you're going to tell me, you guys are going to tell me what you did wrong tonight. But the only way you can answer is by answering with those lines in that card. These are audience submissions. I don't know why I got up. I could have just handed it to Steve right there. These are audience submissions. All of you submitted some wild stories.
Do I take one and pass it down?
You don't have to. Keep it for now.
Okay.
Steve got his already. So we are in a police interrogation room. You kids just got arrested or are being interrogated. And we're going to talk about this. All right. Shut up, everybody. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'm the bad cop and the good cop. I don't like the way you're looking at me right now. Tell me, hey, don't. Oh, you're a cab, aren't you? I could already. Okay. Don't do that. All right. Tell me what happened tonight. And be honest with me.
I honestly, maybe I fucked up because I just, the job market is crazy. I just click on all the links. And so I just wasn't reading a job description before the interview. I just applied to jobs.
You didn't read a job description in an interview, and that's something you regret. Why are you being arrested for it right now? Why did you know why I pulled you in? You know why I
job was too good to believe?
You threatened the boss. You threatened the boss.
He thinks that.
All right, let's talk to your friend here. Tell me, can you corroborate his story?
Hi. Well, yeah. So what actually happened? My friends here and I, we got kicked out of a hospital while visiting a sick friend for being too loud and disruptive. Yeah.
And he was doing a job interview at the time, correct?
Yeah, he had his phone out and he was on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know that's technically battery.
What part? How so?
Who's the police officer here?
Okay.
Who's the police officer here?
Okay.
You, ACAB?
Yeah, he's
Tell-
not telling you all the truth.
Okay.
We were in the hospital because I got high at Disneyland and panicked, and I was sent there. And they were trying to get me out so I could go back, and I did.
Right. I know that. They pulled a whole Mission Impossible heist
Yeah,
to try
no
to break you out of
battery
that.
happened.
No battery happened.
Yeah, my friend was trying to work at Disneyland.
I did strike an orderly.
All right, I'm just going to make sure you put that on the record. You struck an orderly.
Yeah, this guy, he was doing that thing where sometimes, when you go to a person's job and, oh, no.
God's mad. God's mad.
You know how sometimes when you go to a person's job and you go a way that you're not supposed to, but you don't know that because you're not there every day, but they have to deal with like a dozen people doing that all day long, and it just becomes an annoying part of their job. And so like I was probably like the 8th person he dealt with going down the wrong path, so he like was kind of terse with me whenever I was walking the wrong way, and he was like, "Yo, you can't go that way," and I was like, "This is a hospital," and I smacked him.
You backhanded him.
Yeah. My father taught me that you should hit people that disagree with you.
Mm-hmm.
I did threaten, now that I remember, I did threaten Mickey Mouse that I was going to kick him in his McCussy. And
only because we
maybe
were high.
You just admit, okay, so you guys are hot.
It's legal here.
You little guy at the back there. Can you corroborate their story? Is this the truth?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened? Tell me what
Do
happened.
you want to know what I'm in for?
Yeah.
I got food poisoning right before a 5-hour flight. I thought eating shrimp scampi at an airport wouldn't be a bad idea. And then I felt a stirring in my bowels while we were taxiing on the tarmac. And I was looking for a bag because the flight attendants wouldn't let me get up out of my seat while the airport was taxiing, but there were no bags. But there was a elderly Russian man sitting to my left. And,
Okay.
he had like a tote with him, and without asking his permission, I did spread my butt cheeks and blast liquid diarrhea into it.
Jesus Christ!
What else was he supposed to do?
yeah, the option is there.
And that's why you were in the hospital, because you threw up from that, and that's why you assaulted that person, and that's what you were actually the nurse. Okay.
You really cracked the case.
Wow. Wild.
Wow, what a cop.
First off, I arrested you because you guys were having a threesome in a car with a bunch of kids, but all of this is news to me. You're all going to jail. Thank you so much. Everybody give it up for your comics! Oh my gosh. We end the show. Thank you so much. This is our 1-year anniversary. We'll do a quick round of plugs. Brian, where can people find you?
On Instagram at Brian Smight. B Smight. My first initial, last name. Yeah.
B Smight, everybody. Bethany, where can people find you?
Thought Lord Bethany.
With a 0, right?
Yeah, spelled with zeros.
Chance, where can people find you?
Bethany has the hardest username to find. You can find me on all forms of social media at Chance is Loud.
Chance is loud, everybody. Steve Zitello is not on the internet. He's not even technically supposed to be here because he's a teacher of children. But is there anything you want to plug?
Oh, my girlfriend's bakery.
Yeah, please check that out. What's her bakery?
It's Mija Bakes, so MIJA.
Please, everybody, Mija Bakes.
So, yeah.
Everybody bakes. Please, thank you so much. You can follow me at Adam R. Mack. You can follow this podcast at That Was Wild Pod. And please like and subscribe. All right, we're going to do this one last thing. When I say that was, you guys say wild. Everybody wrap it up here. 3, 2, 1. That was
Wild.
Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next time.